All right, let's play a game. Stay with me here. You just got a job offer, and they're going to tell you that you're gonna make, I don't know, $60,000 a year. Here's my question. Do you actually get $60,000 a year? Hopefully this isn't a spoiler for you, but the answer is no. Now, that's the number that you're gonna see on the offer letter, but that's just called gross income. What hits your bank account, that's a different number, and that's called net income. If you've ever been shocked looking at your first paycheck, then this video is for you. I'm Jonah, I'm one of the banking bros, and today we are tackling net versus gross income. So let's start with gross income. This is your total pay before any deductions are made. You can think of it as your earnings in a perfect world. No taxes, no insurance, no planned contributions. It's just raw income. It includes your salary, it includes your bonuses, your commissions, your side hustle income. It's just before any deductions are made. It is your top line number. It's your headline. If your paycheck were a sandwich, gross income is like the whole menu description before they shrink it down and they wrap it in a paper. If your salary is $5,000 a month, that's your gross. It's what your job says you earn, it's what shows up on the offer letter, it's sometimes what people mean when they ask, hey, how much do you make? Now, my suggestion, don't get too attached to the number because you're not taking it all home. So let's talk really fast about net income, because that's your take-home pay. It's what actually lands in your bank account after Uncle Sam, your health insurance, your Social Security, your Medicare, maybe your qualified plan get their cut. It's the money that hits the checking account every 2 weeks or every month. It's what you live on. You don't budget off the gross income, you budget off your net income. And here's the kicker. The gap between gross income and net income is oftentimes just a lot bigger than people expect. So if your gross pay is $5,000, but when you get your paycheck, you're only seeing $3,700, $3,700 is your net income. And that's what you pay your rent with and fill your gas tank, buy groceries, covers your Netflix, right? And maybe, just maybe, you have enough to go into savings. Understanding the difference between net and gross isn't just about paycheck math, it's about knowing what you're actually working with. Because if you're only looking at your gross number, your budget could be straight up like fiction. So now, real quick, for my history buffs, how did we even get here? So it actually all started in 1913. Before 1913, you basically kept everything you earned. That year, the 16th Amendment actually introduced federal income tax, and suddenly the government had a new revenue stream. At first, it was only going to affect the wealthiest Americans, but over time, more people became subject to it and more layers were added. In 1935, we got Social Security. In 1965, Medicare was added. These programs were funded directly out of workers' paychecks. And then came employer-sponsored health benefits, which companies began offering as tax-free perks during kind of World War II. So in '78, the 401k was introduced, allowing workers to contribute, again, pre-tax income toward retirement. But here's what's really happening. Each of these developments chipped away at your gross income before you even saw it. So what used to be a single number, what you earned, split into two very different realities, your gross income and your net income. Today, that split is built into every single paycheck. And if you don't know the difference, I think you're kind of flying blind. Okay. So why does this even matter? Because if you're not planning with your net, you're just playing yourself. Let me break it down. Gross income looks great on paper, but your net income is your real money. So that's what matters for budgeting or getting a mortgage or understanding if that job offer is actually worth it. So don't just ask, how much am I getting paid? You've got to ask, what am I actually taking home? So if you want to do the math, here's how you do it yourself. You take your gross income. Again, what was on your offer letter, your total salary, your hourly rate times your hours worked, and then you've got to subtract a few things. You got to subtract federal income tax. If you live in a state where they charge state income tax, you got to do that one too. Social Security is about 6.2%, Medicare is 1.5%. If you've got any pre-tax benefits that your job offers, your health insurance, your HSA, your 401k, you got to subtract those too. My suggestion is that you can use a paycheck calculator online. Just plug in your numbers and then boom, you've got it. For most individuals, this kind of exercise is something that we know, but we've never really done it in real life. And so sometimes I hear people say, oh, I just got the new job and I'm making $80,000 a year. And I think to myself, do they know that they're not actually making $80,000 a year? That's the gross number. By the time they're getting it home with the way that our tax system's set up, and maybe even the tax brackets that they're now inside of because of their qualification, do they know they're only taking home $55,000, dollars after this? That's what we teach people to do here on our channel, The Banking Bros. We teach them that math isn't money and money isn't math. They're different. And anytime that it comes to finance, you've got to understand some nuances about how the system that you're in currently is set up, not really to see you succeed, but set up for the people advantage who set it up, right? We help people save and keep more of their hard-earned money. That's actually why we've developed something called the save and spend system. It's a way for you to save your money while you spend money at the same time. The key here is that it's just someone else's money that you're gonna have access to in order to spend. So if this video finally helps you understand what all those deductions mean, then do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, because I've got lots more money wisdom. And if you want to get smarter about, one, how to grow both your gross income and your net income, then I suggest that you check out one of our videos on the save and spend system. So that way you can learn how to keep more of what you earn. Thanks. I'll see you next time.